Estela, thank you very much. Bonjour Toulouse. Bonjour, you're waking up. It's good. We're gonna have coffee afterwards. We'll be with more energy. Thank you very much for the invitation. And you're gonna just move this. So, let me explain what happened. It was a live performance. I was transforming my feelings, my brain activity into art in real time. This piece that was just made in collaboration with Lestella is unrepeatable and involuntary. I didn't mean to do it, but I felt it, and then I mapped. So I used an electroencephalogram, a portable one, that a couple of years ago was too expensive to have. You'd have maybe to go to a facility to use this type of device, and most of the times not for a good reason. And now, anyone can have one of those devices. This device, what does is to measure the brain activity in microvolts. And we can understand, capture different patterns. And we can make sense out of those patterns. I just got some of the variables to play with this. And I've been playing with different devices and different codes, and it's very easy to do. In 10 minutes of coding, you can do something like this. This device can measure expressions, can measure emotions, and also cognitive signals. What does it mean? If you think of something abstract like left, and then you think left, 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 we can measure this. We can measure this pattern and then understand that you're thinking about left. So you can easily maybe control like a motorized skateboard, just thinking about left. And a device like this in good hands, or creative hands, or curious hands, can generate art. I'm going to be talking about humans and also how can we use technology to make a better world, transforming ourselves. Hotter, better, faster, stronger. Daft Punk, anyone? That's a Daft Punk theme. Hotter, better, faster, stronger. When I was a kid, I had this toy, the $6 million man, the Bionic Man. Anyone else had this toy? Everyone is so millennial. Thank you, thank you. So many millennials here. But it was amazing to play with this because it had like a bionic arm, a bionic eye, could run as fast as a car, and it was just $6 million. I don't know if today we could make for $6 million. And for most of you that doesn't have the reference, here is Steve Austin.
A man barely alive. A man barely alive. Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We can rebuild. We have the technology. We have the technology. We have the capability to make the world's first bionic man. First bionic man. Steve Austin will be that man. Will be that man. Better than he was before. Better than he was before. Better. Stronger. Stronger. Faster. Faster.
the $6 million man, and sorry about the quality, we didn't have 4K in the time. So this is Lee Majors. The idea is to make humans cool again. And there are different domains of development that through ideas like transhumanism, we can develop, like the physical, to change the size and the body proportions, the performance, the perception in motor abilities. For instance, flight. Since ever we thought about flying, we see the birds and we want to fly, and these magnificent men and the flying machines, I know my reference are not for millennials, but look at this thing. And we see devices, machines, technology being developed throughout time, some very famous, some interesting, some wacky, some dangerous. Yes, rotating blades and an inflatable yoga ball. Yeah, and it's flying. And some are funny, some are way too funny, some are bold, but they work. Look at this example. This is an amazing example of a flying machine that a human can fly and control the flight. And another example, we're going to see a video. And you can have one of those. This is Yves Rossi, and he was a test pilot. And I met him in Dubai. I asked, why? He said, why not? We can do this, right? If you're courageous enough to jump from a helicopter and then pray for this thing to fly, he said, but I had a parachute. Oh, okay, yeah, I wouldn't do it anyway. Why not having super senses? I found this amazing project from Royal College of Art, and the idea here is to get a sense and isolate it and finally amplify it. So you can isolate and amplify the sight, hearing, and let's see a video demonstration of this technology.
IDOS consists of two pieces of experimental equipment, one for sight and one for hearing. We found that while we experience the world as many overlapping signals, we can use technology to first isolate and then amplify the one we want. Our first device applies this approach to the way we see motion, achieving a similar effect to long exposure photography, but for live experience. By detecting and overlaying movement, it allows us to see hidden traces and patterns in real time. It features a camera and head-mounted display and works by sending captured video to a computer where it is processed by custom software and then displayed for the viewer. Our second device lets us hear speech more selectively. Distracting background noise is neutralized, while the speech you want to focus on is sent directly to your inner ear.
So, can you hear me now? Yes? Good, I can hear you.
It uses directional microphones to capture audio input that passes through the software before being outputted through speakers and transducers. Unlike standard headphones that have 2 channels, left and right, our device has 3, the 2 earpieces plus a central mouthpiece for speech. In sport, post-match analysis is often used as a tool to enhance players' performance. By using IDOS Vision, we could analyse motion live, letting the player or coach visualise performance as it happens. This could also enhance the action for spectators. With the evolution of our software, IDOS can be applied to fashion or ballet, bringing a whole new feature to arts and live performance. Not only are sight and hearing our most important senses, they are also our least stable, declining earlier in life than touch, taste or smell. We see applications of IDOS in strengthening signals weakened by ageing and disability. Being able to hear more selectively would have benefits for children with ADHD by helping them to concentrate in busy or distracting environments.
Amazing, right? So technology is here. So imagine if you want to be as strong as Jessica Jones. Okay, this is more a millennial reference, right? And be able to carry a 200-pound box like this. This is a project by Lockheed Martin, and also to avoid fatigue in action. But also not only military applications, this for a neuro rehabilitation. So you can use a device like this. Today it's around $160,000, but this amazing piece of technology and art can make miracles, like make people walk again. And this is happening now. Last week, it was on the news that people after stroke, they were paralyzed, using devices like this, like an exoskeleton, and then being able to walk by themselves. This is a big, big change. What about SuperSight? Those are smart contact lenses, Google Novartis, and it's a project from back the mid-90s. And the idea is that you could measure the glucose level, and then you can detect diabetes, and you can even control what you're eating and how the levels of glucose on your smartphone. So it has an antenna, and it's transmitting live. It's still not there, and they don't know if it's accurate to measure glucose levels through water. So they think it's better through blood, but it's still under research. This is a telescopic lens. Imagine that you see something that you like, and you just wink, and then you're almost 3 times closer to the thing. So this is possible with this telescopic lens, or this bionic lens that can make you have a 20/20 type of vision, and you just have to go through the application device that for me, I put this picture because I thought, well, imagine putting this in your eye, but that's the cost of having a 20/20 vision. Super hearing. We're commenting backstage about different technologies, amazing technologies related to hearing. And this device from industrial facility, it has an array of microphones. It detects sound like very precisely, and through bone conduction, vibration, it helps you hearing what's outside. So it's a type of a 3D hearing, like the coyotes, the animals. They have this 3D type of hearing, and this device, this amazing device, helps with this. Another superpower, invisibility, and I know you have this reference. And Rochester Cloak, using cheap optics to hide things in plain sight. So those are some pictures of the experiments that have been done. This is real, and this is another cloak that's being designed now that helps you really disappear in the environment. But what about cognitive? We talked about physical changes and also cognitive, right? Telekinesis, this is not me, by the way, although we have the same haircut. Telekinesis, is it possible? I mean, this is me, and I'm using another device, And this is a home turning on and off lights, just thinking on and off. And it's easier than you think. So I'm just changing a switch with the power of my mind. But anyone can do this. Look at this example. Do you want to be a Jedi Master? And this is a toy. This is a toy. You can really tap into our brain activity and do things like this, turn on and off lights. See? Parallelism. Thank you, Antoinette, for talking about this earlier. We have in our devices now the ability to go anywhere. Yesterday we went for dinner, and it's fine. I can have a French menu, and I can read with my device, and the translation is pretty good. So we can have augmented reality type of applications, audible type of applications, like the Pixel Bud that was showed a couple of minutes ago. But also super consciousness. This is a temporary tattoo that's measuring hydration, temperature, in real time. Again, there's an antenna, it's transmitting real time. Imagine a professional athlete that's running on the track and the coach is measuring hydration. And it's temporary tattoo. It's not invasive, you just put a tattoo and then you have all this information coming. What about mind reading? Another superpower. Amazing project this. So Yale University is doing this research that they show people a picture. And then they scan their brains, and then they can recall the image that people are seeing. So this is mind reading. This is real mind reading. So we can do this remotely, too. So show the picture, scan the brain, and then getting the image out of the brain. Of course, there's always areas of opportunity, but this is already amazing ability that we have. Why not apply this to a car? You know, that if you feel sleepy, the car can wake you up. And I've drove one of those cars. It gives you a push on the seat belt. And the other car that I drove offered me coffee. And I was thinking that the next generation, if I don't want the coffee, would just throw the hot coffee so I wake up. So it depends on how you wanted to program those cars. But it's easy to, add sensors to devices and make us aware of the environment. And also emotional and social. Imagine having the power of empathy. So we see a lot of AI, machine learning algorithms and projects like empathic robots. They're talking to people. People are feeling more comfortable to talk to someone that really understands them. So this is Pepper. It's being used in hospitals, in different environments, airports, to try to help people. Of course, there's a lot of ethical and design issues and challenges ahead of this. You've heard about Sophie, right? Yes? No? She's a Saudi Arabia citizen, and a lot of humans cannot get the Saudi Arabia citizenship, and a robot can have. So,
do you want to destroy humans? Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
No, I take it back.
So they said this is a very human-like thing. I doubt. If 3 people do this in my face, I wouldn't be very happy. Also, technology can give us heightened state of consciousness. And how it's done this, like many years ago, they started, can you recognize this? Don't be shy. It's not being recorded. It is. The psychotropic drugs, they can open your mind. I'm not saying that you should try this at home or out of home. But this is technology that can change perception. And this is proved that you have much more brain activity when you're under the effect of different drugs. And this is a type of human enhancement, human changing. And what about eternal life? Again, it's always a topic when you go out for lunch, dinner with colleagues from different organizations. We talk about eternal life. Some people, they like the idea of having eternal life. Who here would like to live forever? 2, 3, 4. Don't be shy. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of 300. I don't want to live forever. Because if I have to do something, I would live for tomorrow. And then live for tomorrow. And live for tomorrow. I would live forever, so I don't have to do things right now. I think it's also a very interesting philosophical subject to think, does life have to be finite or no? Some people say that it's just a matter of turning on and off, right? Something, and then you can change your hardware, but then your software will be there. This project is an amazing project that's being designed now. So they put this device behind your eye, and they record everything you see, everything you feel for your whole life. So the idea is that they can replay your whole life afterwards. Everything is recorded. So maybe this is a way of having eternal life, that your life can be revisited. Your kids, your grandchildren, great-grandchildren can really feel who you are, the things that you saw in your life. But we talk about technology, and the main issue is not technology, it's about humans. So this guy, he had a gun accident when he was 9 years old. When he was 34 years old, the doctor said, you have to remove your eye. He was a video maker. What did he do? He put a camera in his, instead of his eye. Now he records everything, so he can see on his iPad everything that he's seen. He's using this technology for the thing that he likes most, that's making video. Neil is the first official cyborg in the world, a really sweet kid. We met a couple of times, and it's very interesting. He cannot see color. He's not colorblind, as a lot of people are. He doesn't see color at all. So he has a camera that's connected to his skull that sees color and vibrates according to the color. So if he's seeing blue, there's a vibration for blue. I mean, it's a matter of definition, right? If you tell your system that every time there's this type of vibration, it's blue, you start seeing or perceiving blue. And he's a cyborg. Imagine him going through customs, immigration, and security in an airport. It's never going to be as good as my human arm. So this is the type of Metal Gear Solid arm. And he lost his arm, and he won this competition to have this amazing Metal Gear Solid arm. And it works really well, but it's still, I mean, it's better maybe than not having an arm, but what does it take to get to a real feeling of an arm? Sorry. Some people do it just for the sake of it, that we can do a lot of body modifications. So, sorry. Rin, she has implants of magnets. So she has a lot of fun going to dinners and doing her tricks, and she just likes it. Why not? I'm a cyborg. This professor, he's studying cyborgs and transhumanism and what it takes, thank you, appreciate it, and what it takes to go to another level, this integration between man and machine. You can control things with your thoughts. So, this is from George Bernard Shaw, and he says, the reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. Thank you. And I think you know this sentence, right? This quote from Benjamin Franklin. In this world, nothing can be said to be certain. except death and taxes. Well, in a few years, you only have to pay taxes. Thank you. I don't know if I have to say you something more, to tell you there's a break or... Questions? Comments? So the idea was to go through different ideas, things that are happening, and make us think about re-engineering the body. So should I continue and get some questions?
If you want, we have some more minutes, so if anybody wants to ask a question, you have time.
Which of these superpowers are you most likely to adopt next?
Myself.
Yeah.
The question was, which of those superpowers I'd like to adapt fast?
No,
So-
which of the superpowers are you most likely to adapt yourself?
For myself.
Adopt,
Okay,
yeah.
so let's start with what I did. So I'm a frustrated designer. I'm a computer engineer, and I have a master's in art and technology. And I was never able to make fine arts properly. And so, okay, what are the tools that I have? I mean, programming, that's a tool to reach something. So I wrote the algorithm to do this. So I use technology to make me a little bit better on the things that I'm not good at. So this is a good question that I'm going to try to improvise in. I think it will be sight. It's not just wearing glasses, but I think, and it's not Google glasses also type of thing, but I think the sight can have like metadata that we're missing a big opportunity to see the data behind the data. So I think the sight shouldn't be just perceive, that's already a lot of information, just perceive the environment, but to be able to switch to the data behind what you're perceiving in nature and all around. So if I see someone, of course, I want to recall the name of the person's kids and where we met and everything, because maybe next time will be the memory amplification. But I think through sight we have a lot of opportunities. So I think we'll be going towards this way. Yes, there's a hand right here in front.
Hi. What is the official definition? What is the official definition of cyborg, and is it like what percentage of the body is artificial, or how is it defined?
It has to have. I don't know about percentage, to be honest with you, but it has to have a bionic electronic component within your body. So there were some examples of cyborgs here, but Neil has an official paper saying that he's a cyborg, that he cannot, when he goes through the X-rays in airports, he doesn't have to take this thing out of his body. So if you have an electronic component embedded in your body that can process information, you're a cyborg.
Should we be concerned with the physical inequality, as some people might have better chances to get enhancement and others might not? And is there something we can do to avoid that from happening, or at least to making that less bad for society as a whole?
That's a good one. I think we cannot avoid, as now it's happening with human organs, and some people are having access to them earlier than other ones. And with technology, is the same. Are we using technology to make us better? But better how? Using for neurorehabilitation, or I'm fit? Why not use this so I can carry boxes in the army? I mean, where are we applying this technology? So it comes with all the ethical questions along with it. We still have a lot of people dying of hunger in the world, and then we spend a lot of money in things that, should we be applying to this? It's never easy to answer, because Sometimes you can apply a new technology to solve an old problem. But again, with these type of things, we can control. And it goes to autonomous cars, to CRISPR, to technologies there. And that's why we have to always talk about the ethics on technology design and also in the technology adoption. Thanks.
Do you think that job offers will require some body modifications?
Sorry, can you say it again?
Do you think that job offers will require some body modifications?
If some firms will require body modification?
Yeah, to hire you.
Job offers?
Yes.
I think eventually will. I mean, I heard about this company that's putting chips under people's skin so it's easier to track them. So instead of like just punching the card to get in, you know, everyone in the company, they think it's fun, so they all have implants. So it's easy to know where they are, to communicate with them. Okay, leave the privacy issues on the side, but why not? I think that there will be someone crazy enough to do this. You can only come to my company if you have this type of things. I think time will tell, but I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, thank you very much, Toulouse. It's a pleasure. See you. Okay.